I used to believe that whenever someone wronged you, speaking up was the only way to defend yourself. But as I've grown, I've come to understand something far more powerful: silence. Sometimes saying nothing and letting karma speak for you is the ultimate response. There was a time in my life where I felt completely overwhelmed. I was in the middle of a civil suit, which was stressful in itself. And to top it off, someone who was close friends with the person I was in the civil suit against decided that they wanted to try to embarrass me on a social media platform. It was an average work week. I was in the middle of a meeting, and all of a sudden my phone started going off. It was ringing, I was getting notifications on text messages, and it was back to back to back to back. But I couldn't answer the phone or really look at my phone because I was in the middle of a work meeting. So it wasn't until after the meeting was over, I finally decided to look at my phone. And I'm seeing all types of messages. Are you okay? Don't worry, call me. And I'm like, what is going on? I saw the missed calls, and so I decided to call one of the missed calls back. And so the person that I spoke with, she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. What's wrong? And she said, you haven't looked online? And I said, no. And she said, I think you need to look online. So I'm looking online and I see this generic post that says something basically like there are two sides to every story. And I'm like, okay, I didn't see anything wrong with that. But it wasn't until I clicked on the post and started reading what was being said, I realized that it was about me and personal details of my case. And I was totally shocked. And so the first thing I wanted to do was react, because my feelings were like, how dare you? This has nothing to do with you. And again, some of the details that were being said, it was really no way for that person to know that unless somebody that was involved told her. So I, thanked the person. I said, I'll be okay. I gotta talk to you later. So I called my best friend who lives in Texas, and I told her what was going on. And so my best friend was like, well, what are you gonna do? And I said, well, I'm not gonna say anything. And a best friend being a best friend, she said, well, you're not gonna say anything, but today I got time. She said, what's the name? So I gave her the name, and she said, I want to look at it. So she went online and she's looking at it. By this time, other people started commenting on the post. This person and the other person were public figures. So they had a very large platform. By those people having such influence because of the positions that they held, a lot of people had already started commenting on the post. Well, when my best friend made her way on the post and read everything, she was basically like, you don't have anything to do with this. And by law, your friend can't say anything regarding this case. So she's basically using you as a mouthpiece to speak for her. And so they had a couple of words or whatever. And then a couple of other people chimed in on it, like, no, this isn't right. And then, that was the post kind of died down. Not too far after the posting, I would see both of the women at events. There was one event where the woman that created the post was with her group of friends. And so One of them asked me to take a picture of them, and I'm thinking to myself, the audacity. And I walked away. The woman that created the post, we ended up meeting up at a Panera to talk about the situation. We ended up meeting and we sat down and we we went at it for 3 hours. At the end of the conversation, we wasn't getting anywhere. So I just said basically, okay, so since we're not getting anywhere with this, let's talk about the future on what's going to happen. You're not going to say anything to me, and I'm not going to say anything to you, and we will just have to coexist in, the different things that we're involved in. And it wasn't until then she kind of looked shocked, like, and I told her, I don't know what I have done to you to make you hate me. And she said, I don't hate you. And I said, I can't tell by your actions. And the look on her face, it was only then that we had somewhat of a breakthrough. After that, she agreed to delete the post. Now, she did delete the post, even though I am a believer that wherever the disrespect happened, the apology need to occur. And it needs to be as loud as the disrespect. That did not happen, which was a little disappointing because this woman has a large platform by her being a public figure and holding different offices and everything. So as a public figure, when you have a platform that big, there is a level of responsibility that you assume when you have a platform that big. You can't just be spewing out everything and being messy and getting involved in things that don't concern you, and not go back and make some type of correction. So basically the post disappeared, but she never went back on there and said, I spoke on a situation that I should not have spoken on. It could have been short, sweet, and to the point, but that was never done. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So, like I said, these two people were public figures, and there were different elections that, they were involved in. When you do things to people, karma is real, and karma has no menu. So you will get served what you deserve. So both of these people ended up being in an election. Both of them were in different elections. One of them lost really bad. It was embarrassing. The woman that started the post, the details of her election actually made national news. And not only did she lose, but the circumstances about the person that she ran against was so embarrassing. When I think about their elections and I think about what transpired as far as the postings, I'm like, I'm good. The embarrassment that was planned for me ended up being far worse for them. So the next time someone tries to bring you down, remember this: silence speaks volumes. Letting karma do the talking protects your peace and also shows strength. You don't always have to react. Sometimes the best thing is to step back and let life do its thing. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you'll join me again. So until then, take care and don't forget to live. Bye.